Hey guys, it is me again. Today is Tuesday, February 12th. That makes it day 43 on our Daily Bird Project 2013. As always, guys, it's good to be here tonight. It's really, really good for me to be here tonight, guys. And I'll tell you why. That kind of goes into my apology for not being here last night. Strangest thing, guys. Got up yesterday and just did some stuff. Walked through the house. What I'm trying to say. Had some stuff I need to do before I went to work, so came back in here, said something to my mom and stuff, that kind of deal. Come back in here, and actually, what it was, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys a couple months ago that I ordered. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's basically for $10. You get like the first 10 lessons or something of a language, trying to learn it. And they guarantee that you can learn so much of it in those 10 lessons. And anyway, I ordered it. And unbeknownst to me, that when you order this thing, till I got it and I read the paper that was with it, okay, this is yours. It's $10 and it, there's no, they don't, you don't have to send it back, nothing. But if you don't do anything within 30 days, they automatically, and I think I mentioned this to you guys, they automatically send you out another, like the big gold super package, where you can actually learn the language completely. And it's 4 payments of $65 a piece. Well, I called them back, I don't know, in January sometime, I guess, maybe even in December, and told them, that I didn't have the money for that right now, and I didn't know that there was going to be, automatically be something sent. So they put it off to February the 12th. So I knew that I had to call and get it canceled by today, send this thing back. They actually already sent it. But, you had 30 days, or in my case, they give me 60 days to send it back, and you wouldn't be charged. And I just, couldn't, didn't need it. I mean, if this right here works fairly well, and I see that it's going to do pretty good when business picks up and everything, and I get some money extra, I'll order the bigger course, so I can fully learn Hebrew. Anyway, I picked up the phone and called, and the woman from the company comes on there and tells me her name, and I went to talk, and I'm telling you guys, I couldn't talk. I mean, just in a few minutes, I went from being able to talk to not being able to talk. And I mean, I had to sit there and, I mean, all of a sudden, this congestion just came up in me, in my chest, and up in my throat, and I couldn't talk. And I'm telling you guys, you ought to heard what a strain it was for me to talk to this woman. It was everything I could do, just to give her my name and address and that kind of stuff. So anyway, what I'm getting at, guys, the rest of the day yesterday, I couldn't talk. I mean, I figured for sure I was getting sick. That happened to me a few weeks ago when I was sick, when I got sick, chest congestion. That's the reason I'm so tickled to be here tonight. I was betting by tonight I was going to be bad off sick. I didn't feel bad or anything, but I'm just telling you, just like that congestion came upon me, and like I said, I couldn't talk. I went the rest of the day yesterday without talking. I mean, if I strained, I could kind of, get that right there out. But last night, I could, I said, there's no way I can make a video. I mean, even 3 or 4 minutes, there's no way I can do it. So anyway, guys, I'm sorry for not being here. I know it seems like I keep making excuses, but, I don't know. It just seems like there's always something that happens. But anyway, I guess that's about all the jibber jabber. I really ain't got a whole lot to go on. I wish some of you guys was machinist experts. I really do. Lathe experts. I have worked on my lathe a little bit in a few days, and I'm aggravated right now. I really am. I'm not gonna lie about it. I tried threading, and I have done a little metric threading on it before. And the thing about metric threading, guys, when you engage your half nut, they call it, which is basically the switch that you flip that tells the machine to start going, but it's not in cutting mode, it's actually in threading mode. You got to set your machine up. You got to change your gears and get it in the gearbox in the right speed, and there's a little bit to it. Uh, but anyway, once you flip the half nut and it starts cutting, you never turn it back off. I mean, you never disengage the half nut. Actually, what you do is when the machine gets down toward to where you're going to end up cutting, you just cut the machine off. And I don't like doing that because the machine still spins a minute, even at just 120 RPMs. So you gotta kind of eyeball it to where it won't crash, and it's a little bit frustrating, but it works good. Well, anyway, when you're American threading, I was gonna thread a 5/16. The first one I was gonna try American was a 5/16 by 24 thread. So I changed all my gears in my gearbox that needed to be changed. Had to press them apart, press the little bushing out of them, put it in the new gear I was going to use, and did all that. Took probably about 15-20 minutes, change all the gears in the gearbox, get everything set up. But on the American threading, guys, and I gotta be quick at this, you've got a dial that sets up against your lead screw, they call it, and it sets here and turns, and it's got numbers on it 1 through 8 with little dashes, to show you that number. Well, anyway, with an American thread like that, a 24 thread, an even number thread, as long as you line up, there's like a little arrow and in that number, as long as you engage that lead screw on that number. Actually, you can, on a 24 thread, you can use any number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. As long as you engage it on that number, you cut it through, cut your thread through, and the first cut does fine. Then you disengage your lead screw, you pull everything back over your carriage, set your next cut up, and as long as you engage your lead screw back on that same number, or like I said, it don't even have to be that number, just any of those numbers, but I always use the same number because a lot of people say, this keeps you from getting confused, put it on the same number. So anyway, what I'm getting at, guys, this is the first time I've did any American threading. I cannot get it to work because every time I engage it, even though it's engaging, I mean, according to my number, I've tried it. I mean, it's the same spot every time. I mean, I'm sitting here waiting on it and hitting it, and I started a little bit away from the thread, so if I miss it, I can let it back up and let it turn again and then hit it again. Guys, I can do it every time. I mean, I'm hitting it dead on the money, and it will not cut the same thread twice. I mean, it won't engage in the same spot. It's it'll cut the threads the first trip good. When you come back and you set everything and you engage it, I'm like, yep, that's it, dead on the same place. And it's off just enough to where it'll cut the thread I just cut. It'll cut it off and wipe it off. And I have done everything I know to do. I bet I've wasted a foot of material trying to thread. Same deal with my metric. I can leave my screw in and just cut it down, turn the machine off, reverse it, pull it out, and go back, and it'll cut a perfect thread. But going by disengaging and engaging the half nut on the lead screw, it won't work out the same twice. It won't work in the same spot, and it's supposed to. I don't know if it's just where it's an old cheap Chinese lathe, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, that's had me aggravating. I've been working out in the garage 2 or 3 days on that. But anyway, guys, I ain't gonna blow no more on that. So you can see my throat's still a little bit tickly, but I'm talking good. Just keep praying for us, guys. It's normal stuff. I mean, I know you guys don't forget, but we all need to be reminded sometimes that we need to pray for each other. Just the truth. Business so far this week's been kind of decent. Supposed to start snowing tomorrow night. I don't think we're supposed to get any accumulation, but so I don't know how much that's going to affect it. But anyway, guys, let's get to the important thing. That is, of course, reading the Word of God. So Revelation 11, verse 9, here we go. Guys, the reason I'm in kind of a hurry, it's 1:47 in the a.m., and I've still got to go take a shower, shave, get cleaned up a little bit, tomorrow night's church night, before I get into bed. So I've still got, got to get this uploaded and shower and shave. So anyway, Revelation 11:9, here we go. For 3.5 days, some from the peoples and tribes and languages and nations will gaze at their dead bodies and refuse to let them be placed in a tomb. Now, this is, of course, is talking about the witnesses, the witnesses that are going to be in Jerusalem. Most people say it's going to be at the Wailing Wall, or at least a lot of people say that. I don't really know if the Bible actually says that. I don't remember it saying that from what we've read, but you know, you could say it's somewhere I missed. But anyway, start talking about the witnesses that God's going to send in the last days. Verse 10. Man, I don't know why this thing's skipping like that. And those who dwell on the earth will rejoice over them and make merry and exchange presents, because these two prophets had been a torment to those who dwell on the earth. So, you know, these men are gonna send out plagues and I mean everything else. So when they die, the people are gonna be tickled. They're going, oh, I'm glad that, you know, that's gonna be over now. But after the 3.5 days, a breath of life. Guys, I don't know why this is doing that. I'm hitting it to move down just a little bit, and it's moving. I can't keep my verses pulled up. It's moving it too much. A breath of life from God entered them, and they stood up on their feet, and great fear fell on those who saw them. They heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, come up here. And they went up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies watched them. Oh, it did it again. And at that hour, there was a great earthquake, and 1/10 of the city fell. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the rest were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe has passed. Behold, the third woe is soon to come. Then the seventh angel blew his trumpet, and there was loud voices in heaven, saying, the kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders who sat on their thrones before God fell on their faces and worshipped God, saying, we give thanks to you, Lord God Almighty, who is and was, for you have taken your great power and begun to reign. The nations raged, but your wrath came, and the time for the dead to be judged, and for rewarding your servants, the prophets and saints, and those who fear your name, both small and great, and for... It moved again on me, guys, but it didn't move as much. And for destroying the destroyers of the earth. Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and the ark of his covenant was seen within his temple. There were flashes of lightnings, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and heavy hail. Exciting stuff, guys. Anyway, that's where we're going to stop. Looks like about 10 verses. Guys, good Lord willing, tomorrow night we'll continue in chapter 12, verse 1. As always, guys, I do appreciate every one of you that's here. Again, like I said, you guys that are here, especially you guys that comment a lot, really keep me motivated and going. You know, like I've said before, guys, I've been doing this for 3 years now, solid. And I'm not going to lie, I'm human like everybody else. It gets a little monotonous sometimes. You know, it gets just a little bit old. I have to get on again tonight, make another video. I mean, I'm not going to lie about it. You know, the devil does, he gigs us sometimes and tries to get us to do that, you know. And I'll be honest when I do it. That's like I tell you guys. You know, I know sometimes I have to mess over some stuff, and it may sound like I'm not being truthful with you guys, but I am. You know, I've told you guys, if it comes up a night that I just don't feel like doing it, or I don't want to do it that night, you know, when I let the devil win, I'll tell you, I'll be honest. You know, I just didn't want to do one last night, but I'm here tonight, you know. So you guys just pray for me. Pray that we can keep this going strong. Because I do. I get such a blessing out of it, and I hope you guys do too. Anyway, guys, like I said, if y'all need anything, let me know. As always, thank y'all for praying for us. Keep praying. Keep praying for the church, guys. I mean, I don't remember what day I was here. I guess Sunday I was here, and you know, I told you guys about we brought in the most tithes and offerings that we've ever brought in since I've been there. So you know, that's a blessing from the Lord. I mean, you know, right in the middle of winter, right in the middle of, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, had to be a miracle from the Lord, you know, so we could pay our bills. And that's the thing about it. He always he comes through time after time after time again. Even though he don't owe us that, he don't owe us anything. You know, he's not a genie in a bottle that we rub and say, here, I need this, give me that. You know, we got to fear him, respect him, love him, and serve him. But if we do that, then he's you know, he's faithful to take care of us. So I praise him for that. So anyway, guys, love you all. If you need anything, let me know. Good Lord willing, I'll be back here tomorrow night. Until I see you all again, good night, and God bless.